What if I told you that building a house, preparing for war, or even starting a new year had something in common with following Jesus? They all actually do require careful planning and commitment. Welcome back to The Passage Unlocked, where we attempt to unlock the Bible one verse at a time. My name is Jim Merle, and today we're going to be exploring Luke 14:25-33, where Jesus does call upon us to count the cost of discipleship. Now, in Luke 14:28, Jesus asks, "Which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it?" This is one of Jesus' clearest of teachings about counting the cost of following him. Let's break it down into three key ideas: commitment, sacrifice, and reward. In the first place, commitment. Discipleship is a serious decision. Imagine starting a long journey without checking to see what supplies you have or might need. You wouldn't get very far. In the same manner, following Jesus isn't just a Sunday morning activity, it's a long life journey. Jesus said in verse 26, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife, children, brothers and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple." Now, Jesus is not telling us, mark that down, he is not telling us to despise our loved ones. Instead, he's simply teaching us that the love we have for him must come first and above every other relationship. It must be a priority. Discipleship does require a deliberate, all-in type of commitment. In the second place, sacrifice, surrendering everything to Jesus. Jesus does not shy away from the reality of sacrifice. Actually, in verse 33, he says, "Whoever does not forsake all that he has, he cannot be my disciple." Now, that's a bold statement, but it doesn't mean Jesus expects us to give everything immediately. Instead, he calls upon us to hold everything loosely and to make him the Lord over our lives. Whether it's our possessions, our dreams, or even our comfort, following Jesus means surrendering control to him. It's not always easy, but the sacrifice is always worth it. In the third place, reward. There is eternal value in discipleship. So why count the cost if it's so high? Because the reward of following Jesus outweighs it, and we're willing to give up anything to get it. In Matthew 16:24-26, Jesus reminds us, "For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?" Discipleship leads us to eternity. It gives us life, peace, and a relationship with the Creator of the universe. Nothing else can compare. So how do we practically count the cost of following Jesus? Here are 3 steps to get started. Number 1, evaluate your priorities. Ask yourself, is Jesus truly first in my life? Is he an absolute priority? This may mean giving up certain habits, ambitions, relationships, or other things that distract you from following him. Number 2, embrace daily surrender. In Luke 9:23, he says to take up your cross and follow him daily. Following Jesus isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily choice where you decide every day to trust him and to live for his glory. Number 3, emphasize the eternal reward. When sacrifices feel difficult, remember, the reward of eternal life with Jesus is much greater. So keep your eyes fixed on him, and he will give you the strength to persevere. Now, to be clear, counting the cost of discipleship is not about earning salvation. It is, however, about recognizing the value of one following Jesus. Jesus gave everything for us: his life, his love, his grace, and even more. So the question is this: are you willing to give him your everything? So let me leave you with this challenge. Take time today, right now, and reflect on the cost of following Jesus, and then pray to him and ask him for courage to commit to him fully.